Hi everyone, it's Amy from Nifty Stitch on Flosstube and on Instagram. I have a special guest today. This is my dad Paul.
Hi.
We thought we would do a little special Flosstube, especially around Christmas time, because my dad's got a lot of projects to show that are Christmas themed, and he was the one who started it all off as well. So how did you start?
Basically it was your mum. She didn't have any hobbies at Christmas, so it was hard to buy presents for. So she'd do a bit of knitting, but she needed an occasion like baby shoes and things like that, jumpers, just like special occasions. So I said, well, what about cross stitch? And she said, well, it might be too hard, I've never done it before. So we bought a kit, and she sat down, I sat down, and we worked it out together. So I would read the pattern out and tell her where she had to put the stitches, and she would put them in. And we did one kit which was a Forever Friends bear one, which was what she was into at the time, Forever Friends. And I decided I was enjoying it, but I was wanting to put some in. But obviously two people stitching on the same material, you get different tensions, so you could see different rows. So I left it to do her own, and I decided to use the pattern but change the flowers for a different colour. And then of course when we went into the shop to get the cottons, that's when we saw lavender and lace, and that's when it all pretty much really started from there.
And there's a lot of them.
Yeah. So do you want to see the first one I did was
the first one.
It was this
Got
one.
something to
Yeah.
stick behind it.
This isn't actually the first one. This is a restitch, because the first one I did it on a lighter material, thinking the red and the green for the Christmas colours would show up. But when I got to the bottom down here where the white's in, it kind of blended in and didn't show very well. So I gave that one away as a Christmas present, and I've redone it on this material, which is, I think it's antique, I think it is.
Yeah, it's 18 count.
18 count on a lavender and lace pattern.
And that one's called The Spirit of Christmas.
Yeah. And what I did, because I'm not a lover of French knots, because I can't really do them, I changed the holly beads in the side, and I put Mill Hill glass beads in instead, just so they kind of stand out a bit.
Very pretty.
Yeah. So what I decided to do after that was to do them all on the same material, so they all sort of matched as a set. Obviously once that one was done, well then we moved on to the next one. Unfortunately they've all been framed and they're behind glass, so I apologise for the glare.
Yeah, we'll work it better. So that one's Noel.
Yeah, and that's on the same colour material. They've all got the same red and green picture board on as well, just to so they all look like a set when they're on the wall at Christmas. And that one's on 18 count, is it, Amy?
Yeah, 18 count.
Yeah, loads and loads of Mill Hill beads all the way around. The gold threads are quite a nightmare, because it kind of splits as you're stitching, so you can only get so many in at a time. But it's well worth it, because the gold really pops when you have them on the wall with the lights. So that was the first one. Yeah. And then of course once the first one starts, then the next one comes in, because as you finish one you start the next one. And this one, as you can see, is framed in the glass as well, unfortunately. And this one's called Oh Christmas Tree, with the little boy and the little girl decorating. This one I modified the pattern a little bit as well, because what I did was I changed the baubles from red and yellow. I also put some purple ones in, instead of some of them are red or yellow, or gold should I say. But so I haven't changed the design, I just changed some of the baubles to different colours. So if there was 3 shades of gold, yellow in that, or 3 shades of red in that, I just put 3 shades of the lilac in that. And then on the actual tinsel, I put the longer beads in, just to make it look a little bit more elongated.
I like the star at the top as well.
Yeah.
Quite nice.
But the gold thread really does pop, but it's quite a nightmare to put in. But it's worth the effort. Like I say, it's like 3 strands, and as you stitch, it starts to break up, so you can only get so many in at a time, and then have to cast on a new piece. And then the next one is this one, which I did in 2008, which is
Song of Christmas.
The Song of Christmas. This one was even worse, because some of the white in the design is actually stitched with mohair, so it's like trying to stitch with cotton wool. If it's just fibres coming off all over. And then you've got the long strands of the metallic green, which is Krynic.
I think of the word there.
Yeah, that's on a full stitch, and that's although it really pops on the tree, that's a nightmare to stitch with as well. But it's well worth the patience. It really is, like, because it I don't know if you can catch it. It's like it glitters.
Oh yeah, you can see it, like, hang on, where's my finger there? Like in this part here, if
Yeah,
you
so
turn
these
it.
is all long stitches around the edges, just to make it look more fir tree like. But obviously with them all having the red and the green border, Christmas colours, and then all on the same material, they all look lovely as they're set on the wall, like. And then the next one is this one. I like this one because this one has Egyptian cottons in as well, which is lovely. This one was Christmas 2013 when this one was done.
Yeah, it's called Secret Santa.
Yeah, and he's finished for the day. He's all done. He's got his feet up. He's got his glass of milk, and his cookies on the floor. That's got all that Krynic glitter material in the carpet, and also like in the tree. And again, some of them, instead of using French knots, I tend to prefer putting beads in because it sort of stands out a little bit more. But yeah.
Yeah, so you can see all the beads.
All the cottons in the chair, these are all Egyptian cotton, and in the stool I think some of the tree was in Egyptian cotton as well, which was part of the design. It was actually sewn with, that hasn't been modified, that was part of the design on the lavender and lace pattern. But when I saw that one, I'd have that one as well, like, to go with the set. And then as one finishes, then the next one starts, and pretty much all, I like doing the colours for the Christmas design. Obviously they're behind glass, so they keep clean, and obviously with them not being on the wall all the time, the cottons don't want to fade with the lights or anything like that.
Yeah.
So the next one was this one.
This one's called Gift of Peace.
Yeah. And he's got a little dove in his hand there as well. It's got all the gold stitching around the top, and I think I'm not sure whether they were supposed to have white beads or whether they were actually supposed to be French knots, but they are Mill Hill beads. They just sort of pop a little bit more than being flat, and I think it looks really nice.
It also looks lovely.
So you can imagine at Christmas time with a bit of gold tints around all the frames on the wall. It looks rather nice.
Very pretty.
And then is it this one?
Yeah,
This one was a kit.
Don't know where it was from though.
No.
And I tried to find it and I couldn't find it, so it must be discontinued.
Yeah. And I changed the background material to like an oatmeal, and it has like a gold flecking as well. If you move it around, you can see it. It glitters.
Yeah.
So it sparkles
nice
in the background.
It's definitely a lot smaller than the other ones.
Yeah, that one didn't take quite as long as the other ones. The other ones
No.
there was quite a lot of effort in the other ones.
Definitely.
Right,
Right,
yeah,
so
Amy.
Celtic Autumn's the next one.
Right, obviously how Amy was starting when she saw the Noel one, she liked the design, and then she decided to do the autumn one. When she started, obviously I thought, oh, I like that as well, because at the time I did buy spring, summer, autumn and winter patterns, just never got around to them. So I'm getting round to doing the autumn one, which is, I converted it to the autumn colours rather than doing it on the traditional, it's like a purple colour, isn't it?
Yeah,
For
they
the
were all
autumn
sort
one,
of purple
yeah.
colours, yeah.
So these ones I've actually changed it to the autumn colours. That was off the internet. Somebody had put the charts on saying what the different colours were. Obviously I haven't got this one framed yet. And that one's got all the beads on as well, all the way along the top and down the sides. And that's the same pattern, it's just I've changed the colours because they told you which colour beads to change to and which colour cottons to change to. I just thought with it being autumn, the russets and the oranges and the greens just kind of popped for autumn. And obviously the Mill Hill beads all stand out. I like the way the colour goes from dark to light and then back to dark on the other side. Looks really smart. So I will get the other ones done. The winter one, she's all in white, but it looks a bit more like a wedding dress. So what I might do, I've seen a conversion on the internet where she has like a hood up. And
Yeah,
she has like a long cape on, and that kind of, it looks more wintry than
than the other one.
than the other one.
Yeah, that one, you started it in 2020 and you finished it in 2022.
Yeah, but obviously I don't stitch constantly. I don't have that sort of time. I can only fit it in where I can.
Yeah.
Because I've got other jobs on the go with cars and stuff like that, and work.
Yeah. And you like to do your rotation of Christmas and Christmas.
I don't like to sew in the summer doing Santa Claus. I'd rather do that in the winter. Once it gets to sort of October, November, December, January, February, I tend to do Christmassy things, and then after that I then go into something that's not Christmas. So the jobs I've got on the go.
Yeah, so these are now the whips, not the finished one.
Yeah, these ones are all ongoing.
Yeah, so the first one you've got is Santa's Midnight Ride.
You do that, innit?
So it's this one. And it's on 18 count navy. It's a dimensions kit. I really like it. I like the colours in it.
Yeah,
they all just pop, don't they?
The only downside is the dark blue material in my eyes.
Yeah.
But the first quarter's finished, which is that bit there. I apologise for the hoop marks, as you can see. So that first section's completely done, all the linings in and everything, so that's all finished. A lot of the sky, the moon where I was all in half stitches, so that'll go in quite quick. So the aim is to try and finish this quarter and then do the bottom two after that, but that's an ongoing one that I've got at the minute. Again, I think the monkey has French knots, but he'll probably be getting black Mill Hill beads in, just because they're even, whereas my French knots tend to be a bit more sporadic.
Yeah, I'm not the best
so
at French knots.
I think they look a little bit more respectable, shall we say, in a French knot, in a Mill Hill bead rather than the French knot. But yeah, that one's coming along, canny. Nice colours and what have you.
Yeah, I think it pops quite a lot on the navy as well.
Yeah, it does. It's just
like
my
it's
eyes.
Pain, but
yeah, my eyes.
nice.
It's like trying to find the hole. It's a little bit. So at the moment, do the Christmas one that I'm on with.
Right. There's another dimensions, which is A Kiss for Snowman.
Which I really bought us last year for Christmas.
Yeah.
Or the year before.
Last year?
Last year.
Yeah. Because I know how much you like your Christmas.
So
and that one's on 18 count.
That's how far that one's on. I'm still on with that one at the moment, so it's in the Christmas period. A lot of this around the outside is just half stitches, so the rest of the outside will go in quite quickly. All the trees around the edge, all around his hat, all of this here is all half stitches, so it's going in quite quick. And then obviously there'll be the back stitch to go around. The face on the snowman and in the fur and the hood, and I think some of the background, is just a white material, but I might be tempted to put a half stitch in, because it doesn't, if you look at the design, the colours pop around here, but when you get into the middle you can just still see all the holes in the material, so I'm tempted to put a half stitch in just to fill it in, so it doesn't look.
Yeah, you can see it there when you
can
hold
see,
it closer.
especially like if you look at the fur in the hood where there's no stitches in, it's just the white material. I think a half stitch in there, not a full stitch, just a half stitch, I think will just finish it off a little bit.
Yeah, I never noticed that.
Yeah. So they're the two winter projects that I've got on the go at the moment, and I've got one summer project which is
it's big enough,
rather large. And this one was inspired by our Amy as well.
Yeah.
She got
the
us the
joys
pattern
of
off the internet.
Yeah.
And obviously I like Star Wars, so when she showed us the pattern, I just said, yeah, get us that. It is huge. That is literally just the corner, and I haven't brought my phone, so I can't remember, because it's done on the pattern keeper.
Yeah.
So you can track it, which is a really good thing. I love it.
There's something else I got you into as well, isn't it?
Absolutely love it. The patterns, when you're marking them off with highlighters and stuff like that, it deteriorates. You fold them and unfold them, and you start to lose the pattern. Whereas on the pattern keeper, it's all digital, and it's a game changer really. It puts the colours in, you can pull out, and then you can see how much you've done, and then when you go back in you can just pick the other colours. So obviously you've got Darth Maul with his yellow eyes is in the corner, and then obviously this is the Mandalorian, he's coming in there, and it goes right across. I think Amy will show you.
Yeah, I'll put a picture in of what it looks like
the pattern.
finished.
It's really nice. Like,
it's nice. It's very big.
it's a long-term project, but we'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my summer project that I'm on with at the moment.
I think that's the best thing about Pattern Keeper as well with such big projects is you can just pick a colour,
Yeah.
search for it, and obviously it just shows you that one colour, and then you
Yeah.
just go wherever you want with it.
I mean, some of there's thousands and thousands of stitches, so if you click on the one colour and you pull out, you can see half the patterns in that one colour, and it just,
Yeah,
and it's
it
like
is good.
15 and 20 skeins and things like that just for the one colour. So I tend to do, I block so much in, and then when I get sick of just putting that one colour in, I'll move across and count it and start putting other colours in, which gradually work me. I prefer working from the top down over because it's easier to hit the holes from the top above, whereas if I'm coming up, I tend to struggle to find where I've already been. I find it easier to like go to the top and start in one corner, unless it's a lot of cotton, and then I think, well, I'd rather start more in the middle so I can actually see something going in instead of just a big black corner and there's 5,000 stitches in. So,
like a lot of my projects at the minute, yes.
Yeah, I think that the Harry Potter one with the shield where it's all black.
Floral, yeah. That's just all black. But once I'd made it to the second page, because I was just going to do page by page, once I made it to the second page and I worked down a bit, it started with the crest and the flowers and things. So at least there's some colour in that.
Yeah.
But well, that's everything, isn't it?
That's where I am at the moment. Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't stitch every week, so I won't be on every other week. But obviously, maybe once a year, I'll come back on and you can see how far I've got.
Or like once every 6 months.
Something like that, half year, yes.
Yeah.
If you want.
And then you can see the summer progress and the winter progress.
Because I do have a few more Santa Claus kits, which I haven't started. I've had them for years. But obviously I got addicted to lavender and lace, and so the other kits have kind of been put to one side, but they will get done eventually.
Yeah.
So that's where I am.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on. It was
nice.
It's
a pleasure. It's nice to watch your videos. I like watching them.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, so let us know which ones you like, which ones are your favourites, which ones you want to see some more progress on.
Yeah.
Because it's always nice to know these things, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.